Hey everyone, and welcome to our Patagonia documentary. We are Luisa and Toby, and for the past almost 2 years now, we have been cycling around the world with our guitar.
And the last week we spent cycling from Villarrica to Puerto Montt in Chile, along some beautiful lakes and volcanoes, and after taking a ferry last night to Chaitén, we are now about to start the famous Carretera Austral.
So come along and join us on our adventure through Patagonia. Patagonia. Encompassing an area of up to 1 million square kilometers, this mythical region of South America is divided between both Chile and Argentina. With hundreds of rivers, lakes, fjords, and glaciers, it is often considered to be one of the most beautiful places on Earth. Almost 2 million people of varied ancestry currently inhabit the region generally defined as Patagonia. From Spanish Criollo and Mestizo heritage to indigenous peoples and inhabitants of other European descent. Among cyclists, the over 1,000 kilometer long Carretera Austral through southern Chile is an absolute touring highlight, and the battle against the elements in Tierra del Fuego a notorious challenge. Our 2-month journey through Patagonia proved to be one of our greatest experiences yet, and an incredible conclusion to almost a full year of cycling through South America. So we are starting the Carretera Austral pretty late. The typical season to cycle it goes from November, December to February, March. That's kind of the summer, the high season here in Patagonia. And it's now beginning of April, and we're just starting the Carretera. So yeah, by the time we get further south into Patagonia, it's going to be end of April, beginning mid of May. We plan to arrive in Ushuaia, which is our goal, on around about the 20th of May. So yeah, it's autumn is already here and winter is well on its way. So we'll see how the weather treats us the next weeks. That is so cool. Wow, it's beautiful.
What a great way to end the first day on the Carretera Austral. We found this free campground, which is called Parque Los Rios. And yeah, it's completely empty. We have a nice spot for our tent. Here's a table for cooking, and back there is a fire pit as well, so maybe we're gonna have a fire later. Let's see. Yeah, and also there are some very friendly dogs. This morning we are cycling up a little pass, about 600 meters, and we have a beautiful view on the glacier Kelat. Like after every corner we're like, wow! So who you just saw racing past me was Thomas, who we already met in the north of Chile, in La Serena. We stayed with him and his mom for 2 nights, and now he's also cycling the Carretera Austral. So today we met, and now we're continuing together for, right now we don't know how long. Really cool.
So we are extremely lucky. We just asked if we could camp like next to some of these like old buses, and then the lady here was super kind and just said, no, you can sleep in the cabana, and we're gonna start a fire for you. So put some wood in the wood oven, and it's amazing. It's really incredible, and it's really cold today as well. It didn't get above 3 degrees until like noon or 1 p.m. and now it was up to like 7-8 degrees Celsius, but yeah, still very cold, and we are super lucky. It's gonna be such a nice, warm and cozy night, and it's just incredible. There's even a kitchen.
Oh, we were so lucky that we were able to spend the last night in this cabana, because it was the first night with under 0 degrees. We had -6 degrees, so very lucky that we could sleep in here. Today we have the biggest climb on the Carretera Austral ahead of us. It's going up to around 1,100 meters. But also the last days definitely haven't been flat. We've had 2 climbs to around 600 meters, and then in general it's just been going up and down all the time. So it's around 1,000 meters of positive elevation gain over 100 kilometers. So yeah, no easy rolling, but it's also not too hard to cycle. But also, so far, with a few exceptions, the road has been perfectly paved, and that's gonna change as well after the climb, because then it will be gravel, as not all the Carretera has been paved yet. Yeah, maybe 600 kilometers are paved and the rest not. So yeah, we have to see how the road will be. So beautiful how the mountains are covered in flaming red trees. Never seen anything like that.
Now the Cerro Castillo, the mountain is right there, and it's just so incredible. It's so incredible. Wow.
So this is now the third day that is starting with blue sky, and it's really incredible and we're really lucky, but it also means it's really cold because obviously no clouds, nothing to hold in the little bit of warmth that is still here at the moment. And it's, yeah, especially at night it gets freezing, so last night we made a little fire again just to get warm at some point, get the feet warm when they're cold all day. And yeah, now at night we've been also starting to layer up, not just a long sleeve sleep shirt which is under here, but then also this just thin merino hoodie which we've been wearing pretty much day and night now for both of us. And then now the down jackets for camping and so on. And when we're cycling, then take off the down jacket but replace it with a windbreaker or rain jacket, and just putting that on and off the whole time depending on if we're going up or down.
That's it, the end of the paved road. Now the gravel begins. Construction on the 1,200 kilometer long Carretera Austral from Puerto Montt to Villa O'Higgins first began in 1976. After several unsuccessful attempts to provide access by land to the remote settlements in the region. In 1988, the Southern Highway, officially Chile's Route 7, then first opened to traffic, with the final 100 kilometers only being completed in the year 2000. Efforts to pave the road have been ongoing since the beginning, and there are even future plans to extend the entire highway south a further 1,000 kilometers to Puerto Natales. A 70-kilometer section of the Carretera follows the western shoreline of the glacial lake General Carrera. With an area of almost 1,900 square kilometers, it is not only the largest lake in Chile, but also forms a 20-kilometer segment of the border between Chile and Argentina, as it spans both countries. Therefore, the lake is known by a different name in Argentina, Lago, Buenos Aires. Wave action over the past 6,000 years has created unique geological formations in the marble monoliths on the western shore of the lake. The marble caves, chapel and cathedral as they're known, describe several caverns, columns and tunnels eroded into the marble, forming incredibly beautiful structures. After a great week of cycling together with Thomas, we said our farewells and continued on alone again along the wilder southern stretch of the Carretera Austral. We are in Cochrane now, and I just went shopping because this is basically the last town before reaching O'Higgins, the last town on the Carretera Austral, and in O'Higgins it basically ends, and between here and there are no towns, so we don't know if we will be able to buy some food on the road, and it's about 230 kilometers still, so yeah, still a few days.
We'll see. Yeah. And generally, even though the Carretera Austral for the past, pretty much 1,000 kilometers now has gone through pretty remote areas and connected very remote towns, the infrastructure has always been, because it's so touristy, has been really good. And even now in the off-season, in autumn, where a lot has been closed already, we've still had no problem whatsoever to get groceries or water or whatever. So, but now it's going to change a bit.
Probably it will be no problem still, but
we don't know.
Better have some more food than less.
All right, let's pack this.
So it's the third week already on the Carretera Austral, and we are about 50 kilometers away from Via O'Higgins, the end of the road. And the last days we've been really taking it slow, enjoying the nature and wild camping, and as we said, there's not a lot here, so it's really peaceful and quiet.
And nothing going on either at this time of year.
Really nice.
And yesterday morning something kind of funny happened. A dog adopted us. She was lying on the road when we cycled past, and she just started running with us, and I think the first 10 kilometers we just completely ignored her. We didn't want to encourage her, and I don't know, didn't want her to to leave a home, run away from somewhere or something. And but then she just kept coming with us, and I think after 20 kilometers we thought, okay, maybe we should give her some food. She looks a bit hungry, and then after 30 kilometers we started petting her, and she almost ended up walking 40 kilometers with us yesterday, and I think climbing almost 900 meters with us.
It is so cozy in this little shelter that we decided to just spend a second night here, so a full day just sitting by the fire, chilling, making some bread. Yesterday we already made some bread, but it didn't turn out so well, so today we're gonna try some flatbread, see how that turns out, and roast some marshmallows, read, make music, just enjoy the day. And then tomorrow it's only 30 kilometers left to Via O'Higgins, and then we're done with the Carretera. Ta-da! We did it! We cycled to the end of the Carretera Austral to Via O'Higgins. And to be honest, we are so happy that we only did this in April, so in autumn here, and the beginning of the low season, because it was really empty. We often had the road completely to ourselves, and also all the camp spots. And we did have luck with the weather, I guess, because it was surprisingly warm, not too rainy, not too windy.
Yeah, just
and
great.
just really enjoyed the cycling and the wild camping, especially now the last few hundred kilometers. Just the wild.
Yeah. But now the big question is, where do we go from here? The classical route, so to say, to go to El Chaitén in Argentina, which is a little bit that way, across the Lago O'Higgins and Lago del Desierto, isn't possible anymore because the ferries running over these lakes, don't run anymore. Going over these lakes don't run anymore. It's just too late in the season. It's not worth it for them anymore. Then the only real other option to get away from Via O'Higgins here is to take the Paso Maya, which is more of a kind of a hiking trail with river crossings and so on, to Argentina. So it would be a lot of pushing our bikes, and we don't really...
Not an option for us.
Doesn't sound so fun, so we're only really left with one option, which is also the option we are going to take to get out of here, is cycle 100 kilometers north again on the Carretera to Puerto Yungay, from where we are going to in about a week.
Bit less than a week.
Bit less than a week. Catch a ferry, a 3-night ferry from Puerto Yungay to Puerto Natales, which is going to be pretty cool through all the fjords, and yeah, we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And this is actually also the reason why we've had so much time the last weeks, and just especially since Cochrane, just really enjoyed spending whole rest days in a refuge in the middle of nowhere, is because we've known for several weeks now that this ferry, which only runs every 2 weeks, that comes at a certain date, and we booked it, and we really had no drive to go any faster, and especially with our doggy now, it's been really good as well.
Yeah.
Who's sleeping over there.
A bit tired.
Yeah, so it's just been a really great experience here on the Carretera. Having followed us all the way to Via O'Higgins, we were finally able to get our dog some proper food after feeding her rice the past 4 days. From a conversation with a local, we then learned that she apparently has a home close to where we met her, 90 kilometers to the north. So after spending 1 night in Via O'Higgins, we took her back up with us towards Yungay to drop her off with her owner and catch our ferry. Unfortunately, despite our best efforts, we couldn't find the right person and had to leave her with other people, not far from where she had started following us 7 days ago.
By ourselves again, we took the ferry from Puerto Yungay via Chaitén and Puerto Eden to Puerto Natales, passing through the spectacular Patagonian fjords, which you can only fully appreciate from the sea. The dozens of ferries connecting the various ports and cities of Patagonia are crucial to the logistical infrastructure of the region, often being the only source of supplies for remote outposts and settlements. After 2 days on the ferry, we arrived in Puerto Natales in the evening, and the next day began the final stretch of our ride through South America. We are now officially on the Ruta Fin del Mundo, so on the route to the end of the world. We just left Puerto Natales, where we arrived by ferry yesterday evening and then spent 1 night there. And in less than 2 weeks we want to be in Ushuaia and there conclude our almost 1 year travel through only South America. Really exciting. And we can definitely tell that we are now in the region of Patagonia, which is known for its strong winds. It's mostly a northwesterly wind, which is great for us because we are going southeast. Great tailwinds. Not only does the sun not really get high above the horizon anymore, it also only rises at 9 a.m., making it pretty hard to get up in the mornings now. Last night we slept at this bus stop, which is basically a completely covered nice shelter where we were protected from the strong winds and also some rain we had yesterday. So yeah, we had a quiet, nice night. Tierra del Fuego, Spanish for Land of the Fire, is an archipelago at the southern tip of the South American continent, separated from the mainland by the Strait of Magellan. Shared between Chile and Argentina, it has a combined area of around 70,000 square kilometers, roughly the size of Ireland. The name Tierra del Fuego stems from the sightings of indigenous-built bonfires by the first European explorers in the early 1500s. Only in the late 19th century did the mass settlement of European descendants begin in the region, resulting in the displacement of the native populations. Like in the rest of Patagonia, the economy of Tierra del Fuego mainly revolves around oil and gas extraction, sheep farming, fishing and tourism.
So we just crossed to Tierra del Fuego across the Magellan Strait, taking a little ferry for about 20 minutes that connects the road on both sides. And today the wind is exceptionally strong. It's coming also more from the north than the last days, and it's very warm. It's 16 degrees right now, not in the sun. This is really, as you can see, it's overcast. It's super warm, and the wind is so strong. On the flat now, I'm doing 50 km/h without really pedaling right now. Now I'm slowing down to 46, pedal a bit again. It's crazy. It is now already 4 p.m. and we've only done just under 80 kilometers. And yeah, our goal is like 130 something for today to make it across the border to Argentina. But in about 2 kilometers we've had really strong crosswinds and sometimes even headwinds the last 80 kilometers because we've been going south and sometimes a bit southwest. So the west wind has been in our face even a bit. But in 2 or 3 kilometers we are turning east, dead east, and we should have a super strong tailwind the last 50-55 kilometers. Should be pretty fun. Alright, here we go. Here comes the tailwind. As you can hear, it's getting really quiet. Oh yeah, that is a lot better.
Kilometers in Chile, and it's getting late, as you can maybe see. It's already 5:30 p.m. and we still have about 25 kilometers to go, I think, but then we're in Argentina. There's this waiting room at the Argentinian border where travelers can spend the night, and it's really great. It's toasty warm in here because there's a nice heating, and then there are bathrooms next door and even a small kitchen that we can use. It's really great. And already last night we spent in Cerro Sombrero, and we camped next to the Municipalidad building. But there were public bathrooms next door, and we could have a shower, a really hot, really nice shower, and the bathrooms were clean and everything, and open every day until 9 p.m. Really great. And in general, down here in the far south, the infrastructure for travelers is really good. There are lots of small refuges where you can get out of the wind, spend the night if you want, or just take a small break and then continue. So yeah, it's really good. Yeah, really important also because there's like nothing. It's just flat and really windy. So yeah. Wow, we are getting really close to Ushuaia now. The last 2 days we covered a lot of distance. One day we cycled 135 kilometers and yesterday 185. But the last 2 days we are going to take it a bit easier now, to then arrive tomorrow early so we can properly celebrate our arrival. And now, today we have one last pass. We have to climb up to 500 meters, and even though that's not that high, as we're so far south now, we could reach the snow line. We'll see.
So we are almost at the top of our last pass in South America. We're now at 450 meters, so only like 50 meters to go. And we're just below the snow line, but I don't think we're gonna see any snow, unfortunately, next to us, at least on the road. And it's so nice that the landscape has gotten a bit more interesting here again now with some mountains and forests and not just grasslands, so nice reward.
On the morning of our last day riding in South America, we were surprised by a little bit of snow. It briefly seemed like the weather had finally caught up with us, just as we pedaled our last kilometers into Ushuaia, the end of the world.
Oh my God!
The past 11 months and almost 13,000 kilometers cycling on this vast continent had, at times, been truly difficult. From camping at minus 14 degrees Celsius in Peru to reaching 5,800 meters above sea level by bicycle in Bolivia, cycling South America was the greatest challenge we had yet faced on our journey around the world. It was no wonder then that reaching the end of the road was an overwhelming and emotional moment for the both of us.
Bye.